Hey guys, Wolfie here with a special presentation for the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia Global for the 16th of July 2020. It's going to be a multi-part video, and it's going to be kind of long, so please do bear with me. I also have my fan going on in the background, so you might be hearing it while I make the video. So, like I said, it's a multi-part video, because I'm going to have some stuff from Reddit in the description below, so that way you guys have some idea what's like going on and what to expect on the global end of things. So the first part is going to be the panel boards that Global just got. One of them was last night, if you're in or near the United States. The other one came this morning, so we're just going to take a quick look at those. And for me personally, my priority is going to be the panel missions, because those are time limited. If you don't do them, some of the rewards are gone forever. So that part 1 is going to be the panel missions. Part 2 is going to be varying other tips with Ultimate Alexander. Meaning that how many points should one be aiming for to only aim for the treasure nodes. And other tips relevant to Ultimate Alexander. Yeah, I'm going to be touching base on some stuff that's coming up for Global later on this year. One of them being Ultimate Odin, and the other being Ultimate Bahamut. Those are the 2 remaining espers after Alexander. So, I'm going to go over some stuff I was actually able to find. And I'm going to have some stuff from Reddit in the description below. So, with that bit out of the way, you guys know the drill. This is my opinion only. So, again, that's it on that. Like I said, I do have a fan going on in the background. You might be hearing it, so I do apologize in advance. I will actually say here, actually, no way. I'm going to hold off on the whole thing with Aranea until next Sunday, when I go over, that alongside videos, rework, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to go into the training boards. I was going to pick one unit at random, just to show you guys what I mean. So, as per usual, as far as I know with the 70 boards, it is the usual 6,500 points needed to get to both the stat stuff for the units as well as the Alexander passives. So I'm going to go over with a completed unit just to help make things a little bit easier. So, wrong board. So I'm going to go with my Warrior Light. I do have it completely mastered, so we're just going to pop up here, and that way, we have a little bit of a recap of what's to expect. So we have here all these passives here. Let's see here. So we have here, the first one is Light Resist Up, Light Resist All. The Light Resist Up is for the individual unit. Light Resist All is for everybody. Light Power Up, Alexander Boost Up, Alexander Initial Attack Up, Alexander Target Power, and Alexander Great Rejuvenate. So, here's the thing when it comes down to the passes for the units, and particularly Alexander. In my personal opinion, this is going to be the first one of the 3 that gives players more flexibility in terms of what to go after. Now, the thing is with the Light Resist Up and Light Resist All, it's good if you're dealing with enemies who deal holy damage, brave attack-wise. However, it's not very common as far as I know on Global, so I don't really think it's necessary. However, anything after that, in my personal opinion, is fair game. What I mean by fair game is that this will depend on the individual units. Meaning that Light Power Up, this deals extra holy brave damage. Yep, increases brave damage with holy attacks by 10%. So when it comes down to certain units that they deal the holy damage, this is actually a good one to pick up, especially if they're facing an enemy who is weak against holy. So that's actually an excellent one to go grab. Now you're talking about Alexander Boost Up. This is raises max bravery if HP blows 60% of max HP at least once. So this kind of helps with the Diabolo's passes where it's something similar. So I actually kind of like this, and this is arguably the only one I would recommend for everybody. For everybody, all the units is the boost up is the max bravery stat. This is the only one I would recommend go grab because this affects everybody. The initial attack up one for Alexander here. Now, for those who rely on the two stats here, initial bravery and attack, this is probably the only way I would recommend this. If units rely on these two very stats, attack and initial bravery. Now, for the target power, I like this on all my tanks, and that's all I'm going to say on here. This one is an excellent one for tanks like Celeste. She is a tank, although it's magic damage. Warrior Light, what I managed to pick for him. Even Zack, Gallows, Edge, Bosch, anyone who is truly considered a tank, I definitely recommend this for them because it's like, it gives them a little bit of an offensive boost, and I like that. Now, Greater Rejuvenate. Now, here's the thing with this. Now, I recommend this for anybody who is a healer. One of their main things is healing. Meaning like Maria or Lena, even Arciella. People who can benefit from the healing. So, that's that. And just a super quick recap of that, or as quick as I could. Now we're going to go into the board itself. So I'm gonna zoom out of here so that way you guys get to see. So where you see me pointing at here, this is your starting point for the particular board. Now here's the thing with this particular board. Unlike the previous summon boards, you need more points to get to the treasure nodes. So, and by that, you're gonna need roughly 2,074 points in order to get to the passive. To the treasure nodes, not the passes, but to the treasure nodes. Now, and it's partially because of the layout you see here. It's no real cut and easy path to get to it. But, like I said, you do need roughly 2,000 points in order to get to the treasure nodes, which is more than the previous summoning boards that on global up to this point. Now, I will say here, when it comes down to getting to the 2,000 points, you definitely want to have some tomes of training or artifacts of all knowledge in your possession, because they will be your best friend. Now, I will add here is that when it comes to the number of runs minimum to get to the treasure nodes, the number is definitely going to be the 3 for the minimum. And if you're using a book of trading or a relic of all knowledge, the number is going to be 4. So you're going to be needing more runs here to get to the treasure nodes all by itself. But after that, it's pretty much going to be smooth sailing, and even more so when the eventual update to the board farming comes to global, and it will be a multiplier based on your in-game rank. And then this helps even further with an addition of the Mog Pass. So, I'm gonna, the thing is with the multiplier based on your rank, is basically the higher your rank, the bigger your multiplier. So, that is that on that with Alexander. Now, we're going to go into the panel missions for global for this week. 2 came out within hours of each other, so I will warn everybody that I do have some of the panel missions done for one of them already. So we're going to go into certain aspects of it right now. Actually, both of them, I actually got a couple of them already ready to go. So we're going to go over the Summer Fiesta 2. Like I said, I do have most of it done already. So I'm going to go left to right and then top to bottom. So we have here, clear 20 quests with Sans in the party, get an item with the City of Points, and clear 10 quests with Keter in the party. The middle row, use a support item, refine a rune's adamantine ingot, and defeat 5 magic pots. The bottom row is clear 40 co-op quests, clear 10 quests with Ignis in the party, and clear 5 of the time for Summer Beaches and Cactuar quests. I believe the one on the lower right here is co-op, not solo. Now, the thing here, I'm going to say this with Ignis here, I do have a feeling that when it comes to the third and final Summer Incursion banner, I do have a feeling that it's going to be Aranea and Ignis is 2/3. We don't know the third one just yet. Now, when it came down to my predictions video, I did predict that Kane, Alice, and Vivi were my top 3 picks as to an early rework. Now, we don't know the third one yet. Somebody on Facebook may mention the third person, but we don't know if that's accurate or not. So I'm not going to go off of that response on Facebook. But we do know that Kane already got his early rework on Global. Not only last year, but the second rework came early this year with the first Summer Incursion. So we don't know the third person. Now, if it is Cater, I mean, she will probably be the only unit where... how I want to say this right now. She'll be the only unit on Global where her EX weapon has appeared in more than one banner in the same month. However, if it is not Cater, and if it is somebody else with an early rework, that means Cater will have gotten the shaft on Global because the duration of her EX being on Global in sense of a banner only lasted 9 to 10 days, which is lower than the usual amount of time for new EX weapons, which that is about 13 days to 2 weeks. So that's it on there with the panel missions. I do have most of it done for this particular one you see here, and I already got a little bit of a head start on the one for the monthly one. So the last topic here is one of the last topics here is going to be back to the training boards, and it's going to be Ultimate. We're going to go over the blank spots here. So the one where my thumb is kind of like pointing to right here, this is going to be Odin, and this is going to be Bahamut. So I was doing a little research on Bahamut and Odin, and what they're planning on offering in their sense of passives is that these two will have even more flexibility into what passives should be given to individual units, more so than Alexander. Now, like I said, when it comes to the Reddit bits, it's going to be the Reddit evolving the thread about Odin, and the thread about Bahamut is going to be 2 separate links altogether. So, with Odin and Bahamut, these two will be forcing players to have individual builds for their units, meaning that when it comes to certain types of resist, like for Odin it's physical resist, and with Bahamut magic resist, yeah, you're going to be needing a lot more flexibility in the sense of what do I want for this character or what do I want for that character. And for the tanks, this will probably be the only 2 boards where you have to really think about the units and how you want to build him or her. Because with Celeste, I mean, I'm going to bring her up not because she's my waifu, but she is a magic tank, meaning that she absorbs magic brain damage. So if you were to try to get her passives on Odin and Bahamut, the ideal setup, in my opinion, for her would be give her the physical resist up from Odin, but do not give her the magic resist up. Because with Celeste, she absorbs magic damage, especially if she's the one being targeted. And you do not want to have her with that magic resist. She needs the magic brain damage. So that's one example right there for Celeste. It's like you kind of really want to think about what you want to do. And now if you're looking at somebody like Zack, and he is another excellent example, is that you actually want to have both magic and physical resist on him because it further helps him, sense of like resisting damage. Plus, when it comes to the whole aftermath of his EX ability, this actually helps his case. So those are just two examples of where, you really want to start thinking about, like, what passives that should be on a unit, should not be on a unit, as opposed to the other 8. And I will point out here that with Alexander, he is the final elemental Esper in sense of the trials for World of Illusions, because Odin and Bahamut are not elemental. So that's kind of why I kind of hinted at certain things here that I am referring to the Reddit post, so that's why I'm going to have them in the description below. And the Reddit post pertaining to Odin and Bahamut in sense of their ultimate trials within the World of Illusions. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to do a bit of a recap here. So, with Alexander, he is one of those characters one of those Espers, I should say, where when it comes to the treasure notes, going to be doing a little bit more grinding to get to the treasure notes, but it's smooth sailing from after that. However, you'll be doing a minimum of 3 runs in order to land those treasure notes. And that is for those who are, that's within the super/special synergy, and then after when you're using 2 EXP times 2 characters with the synergy. So the minimum number of runs is going to be 3 because, unfortunately, the minimum number of points to get to Alexander's treasure notes is 2,000 approximate. I could be off by a few hundred. Now, that's Alexander. He is the final Esper of that's tied to an element, because Odin and Bahamut are not elemental. Now, with the panel boards, those I really highly recommend to go after as soon as you can. Now, with Odin and Bahamut, you're going to be needing some flexibility in sense of, like, not everything applies to everybody. And in a way, you can say that with Alexander as well. So, I'm going to cut this video here because I do have to get ready for work. I just want to make sure this is at least filmed. So, with that out of the way, I'm going to get going. With Wolfie here, signing off. I will catch you all on the flip side.